I gotta be better. I gotta be more aggressive, finding my shot. Gotta do more things, get my team going. I think I was too laid back tonight, and I can't do that. And defensively, I gotta be better.
Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we have to talk about J.J. Redick and Shaq talking to Zion Williamson. Now, J.J. Redick, his Duke brother, is not pleased at all with Zion's lack of dedication to his physique and making sure he's ready to go. J.J. absolutely went in on Zion today, and Shaq kind of gave him some advice yesterday. We're going to listen to both of those clips, but the reports have come out today that the New Orleans Pelicans has constantly stressed to Zion Williamson he needs to be in shape and he needs to watch what he's putting in his body as far as food and nutrition, and they're saying to no avail. Now, I could argue that Zion showed the Pelicans who he was prior to this second contract. You know, for him to only play, a little bit over 82 games through 3 seasons, he pretty much only played 1 full season in 3 seasons. And that's not taking into consideration that he was on 4-minute bursts for like half of that time. You know what I'm saying? So Zion really didn't play much for them at all. And he showed them who he was. So the Pelicans kind of get what they deserve by extending him a maximum contract. Now, they did build it like a football contract, so to speak, where there were stipulations in there, but they're not thrilled with where he's at this point as far as his conditioning and, his lack of effort. And you take into consideration, like he sat out last year during the play-in where they probably could have won if he was playing. You have a very frustrated organization. Let's take a look at what his Duke brethren, Duke great J.J. Redick had to say, and also Shaq's advice to him. Let's peep.
Here's what really stood out to me last night. Stephen A., who was the most energized player on that floor? The oldest player on that floor. He was more energized than a 23-year-old Zion Williamson. It mattered more to him. So when we talk about LeBron and his skill set and all the great things he does as a basketball player, let's talk about his competitive stamina. Let's talk about the pride that he takes. Let's talk about the joy and the love for the game that he has, rising to the moment. Here in Vegas, in front of basically a pro Lakers crowd, he puts on a show. And it's a little disappointing to me to watch the Pelicans last night. Early on, they showed a teensy bit of fight there in the second quarter. But outside of that, they were a no-show. And so you have the oldest guy on the court, year 21, playing with the most energy, playing with the most passion. And Darvin Ham nailed it. The Lakers feed off of that. And so for him, doing what he's doing right now, the Lakers at 14-9 in fourth place right now in the Western Conference, just 2 games back in the loss column from second place, despite the fact that they're 30th in the league in three-pointers made per game. They're 29th in the league in three-point percentage. This is because of LeBron James. Don't take the greatness for granted.
What did you make of it last night?
I was disappointed, and overall, I've been disappointed in Zion this season. And look, we can certainly point to counting stats and say he's having a fine season, but you can be in the building, you can watch on TV, you can be courtside, and you can see he's not in shape. He's still not in shape despite everything that he's gone through, despite numerous conversations with legends of the game about being in shape. He gets called out on national television once or twice a year for this very thing. And earlier this season, he had a press conference where he was talking about trying to buy into what the team wanted. And the reality is Zion Williamson has not bought into his own career yet. And that is disappointing because as someone who is a fan of his, a former teammate, a fellow Duke guy, we all know how great he can be.
Yes.
We've seen those flashes of greatness, but to do that for an extended period of time, to reach his full potential, and really, RJ, that's all we can ask for as players, to reach whatever your potential is, to reach that. He's never going to get there if he doesn't buy into his own career.
2 of them, David Robinson and your good friend Akeem Olajuwon.
And you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Okay.
So, because you know why? Because I realized I wasn't working as hard as I thought I was. I want to make some points about Zion.
Okay.
Does not run hard. It's not a diss. It's going to be a lesson from one great big man to another guy that could be a great man. Does not run hard. I had the same problem my first, second year. I thought I was running hard. Because Charles talked about this all the time. My talent going to get me 20. But when I start going to 20, 30, and 40, it's because I start doing certain things. He doesn't create easy points for himself. I saw a couple of times we had a couple guys at the basket. He don't seal, right? He doesn't demand the ball. Like, you got a small guy, and we talk about all the time, barbecue chicken alert. Charles talk about all the time, you can't let a little guy guard you. And he doesn't have that look. Like, I'm not the greatest athlete ever, but I know a look when I see it. In every sport, I know a look. Tiger Woods had that look. Jack Nicholson had that look. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just doesn't have that look, and he doesn't rebound. He does not rebound. I'm sitting there and I'm watching because, Charles is on him because, that's Charles's category. I don't want to be on that hard, but he's not ready.
But you're saying this also because he could be the best player in the league.
In the league.
In the league.
Yes.
Not an all-star. The best player in the league.
Again, I was just like him, so I don't want to sit up here, like I was just like that. But, people used to, pull me to the side. I had a guy named Brad Seisler who used to always say, hey, man, okay, you had 24 points, but you're not as working as hard. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, so once he decides to get that killer and go for it, he's going to be a dangerous man.
So I think everybody's criticism is fair of Zion. You notice he doesn't run up and down the court. He trots. He gives minimal effort on defense. He doesn't switch screens very well. He only plays enthused in little bursts, and that's an energy thing. Now, Shaq saying he could be the best player in the league. I was never one that thought Zion had that type of ability because I never saw him as a go-to guy. That wasn't his skill set. He was physically dominant at his previous levels, but did you see Zion, go to something that they're going to let him do at the highest level over and over again? I'll say no. And I don't mean he can't get stats. Yeah, he can score in the 20s and different things, but is Zion a guy that you want to give the ball to in a tightly contested game late down the stretch? And the answer is no. I always thought Zion would be useful if you had that type of guy on your team. They go ISO late in the game or they get their look, and Zion is sneaking on the backside, outworking people by the rim, giving them a second and third chance with those quick jumps that he had at Duke. I thought he had the opportunity to be something like that, and that's, just as valuable. I'm just talking about as far as a role. I never saw him as give him the ball, get out the way. Some people saw Zion that way. I never did. But so I don't necessarily agree with Shaq on that, but an effort thing, you can control that. If Zion put himself in the best physical shape he could be in and he was getting up and down the court, he would get easy points. He would be able to go by other bigs because Zion's only about 6'6", but he has the ability to play much bigger. And this guy, he was getting in passing lanes on the regular at Duke. He was helping weak side, blocking shots. You think about that closeout at Virginia on DeAndre Hunter where he blocked the ball at the apex after DeAndre Hunter had released the shot. That type of effort, that only comes with your conditioning. Yes, your body's capable of making those plays, but over an 82-game grueling season, you're going to have nagging injuries here and there. How do you take care of your body? What do you put in your body to make sure you recover the way you're supposed to? And these are things that J.J. Redick's alluding to. And the Pelicans, them putting that report out, again, more things come out when players aren't reaching their potential, right? So this report could have came out last year, the year before that, so that I look at this report as more so one of those things they're just saying because Zion isn't performing up to par. But I think, he's got to control what he can control, or Zion's exit out the NBA will be much quicker than we anticipated just a few years ago when he was drafted, man. So if Zion's out the league that fast, man, you look at after this contract, somebody will probably give him a chance, but what type of chance do you think they're going to give? You think somebody else going to give Zion a maximum contract if he doesn't show that he cares about his body and he doesn't care about, being there for his teammates enough to change his body and give maximum effort? That's all I want to see from Zion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.